Hello, hi, happy Peace Month to all. Today we celebrate, or this month we celebrate the month of peace of September 2017. I'd like to share with you some experiences with my work in the Peace Process Office. I started about almost 2 decades ago when I joined this office. I have worked with different personalities, leaders of the community, and different organizations. I've seen that the work for peace is so tedious and difficult, most of the time heartbreaking. But it is not for us to give up. It's not as if you are doing things on your own and for your own personal interest, because you are doing things for the sake of the country and the majority of our people. Conflict resolution and management is a difficult task, especially in putting that into practice. Theories, lectures may help, but the actual experience is the most important thing to reckon with. I have observed the number of years that we have worked to come out with different peace agreements. With the Moro National Liberation Front, took us 30 years, and the MILF and the negotiation lasted for 45 months under President Ramos, and then we had this MILF, which we were able to come out with an agreement after almost 17 years of negotiation. And we have not even completed yet the delivery of some of the government's commitments that we have under other peace processes, especially with the CPLA, the RPM, PRPA, ABB. But these are it will take a little more efforts, but I see its completion, immediate completion also, or conclusion within the term or a few months from now. So where are we now? I say that we are at the crossroads. Important decisions have to be made. President has received from our Bangsamoro Transition Commission a new version of the Bangsamoro Basic Law, which incidentally did not pass in the last Congress. But I'm more optimistic at this time that this proposed Bangsamoro Basic Law that will replace the Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao Organic Act, or the present government in terms of the new political entity being installed, I see some positive signs. There are some indication that through the efforts and direction of the President, who happens to be from Mindanao and who claims to have Maranao blood, with the leaders of both houses coming from Mindanao, the Senate President Coco Pimentel, and our brother House Speaker Pantaleon Bebot Alvarez leading the House, I am optimistic that this Bangsamoro Basic Law will be passed into law in the coming months. The work in the peace process have never been easy. As our secretary, our peace advisor, Sec Doresa, have always emphasized, that the road to peace is what not well paved, and there are humps and bumps during negotiation and even during implementation. For I believe also that if you go into the history of different peace agreements all over the world, there has never been a easy implementation. Well, coming out with peace agreements is so difficult, it's doubly difficult to implement the peace agreement. So, this is the reason why we have to commend the persevering spirit of the different peace workers and peace builders, the different negotiators from all groups, government initiatives, the government peace negotiating panels. They have exhibited that rare kind of patience and to understand the different divergent views. As I say, in the peace process, I don't believe in the word peace spoilers. I just believe in the thought that these so-called peace spoilers just differ in their ideas on how to achieve peace. When I disagree with your view, that doesn't mean I am a peace spoiler. But as peace builder, we should also be able to convince them of the logic and that the majority interest of the Filipino people will better be served by this kind of proposal before us. So since this is a democratic country, let us give everybody a chance, a space to air their views and take that, as part of the whole dynamics of when you're deliberating certain difficult issues. But there's one guiding principle that should always guide us, and me personally, that's how I look at it, that the majority interest of the Filipino people should be paramount. I think that's a principle that I have adhered to through all these years. So having said that, I guess we have a president who is committed, and the first president to acknowledge of addressing the historical injustice committed against the Bangsamoro. We have a presidential advisor who comes from the same city and province as the president himself, who have worked or been together with the president in their early days and while they were in school. And as I said, the Senate President, Congress leaders, the Deputy Speaker is also from Mindanao. So I guess with the support of everybody and the different LGUs, whose participation is very important, and the different traditional and religious leaders, and the indigenous people who can air their concerns and issues through the different peace tables. It is important to note those things, because we don't want to be charged of being non-inclusive or not being transparent, or there are people who are marginalized on the side by not listening to them. We have made some adjustments, some innovations in terms of generating ideas and inputs. So having said all those things, I guess it's best that the good trait of being a peace builder is to have unlimited patience and understanding. Understanding where you're coming from, where the opposite side or our counterpart is coming from. Understanding the different stakeholders' interests is a must if we are to come out with an acceptable peace settlement. So God willing, inshallah, we are able to pursue this kind of thing and persevere whatever it takes. Bawal po mag-quit dito. Bawal din mag-surrender. When you still have something to contribute, let's go. Go lang tayo. So, yun po ang sa akin. So, lahat po ng mga nagtatrabaho sa OPAP, kasamahan ko, ay let us continue to find ways how can we better contribute to these efforts of finding lasting peace. Salamat po sa inyong pagtulong at sa inyong pagpupursige.